Good morning, YouTube, and welcome back to Fernvalley Farm's YouTube channel. My name is Vince, and welcome. Okay, we are back down in the wood shop this morning here, getting some more stuff finished. I've got almost everything done, except for painting, which will be. So hopefully you've been following along some of the different things that I've been building. Hopefully you could use my ideas. Hopefully you like them. Hopefully you try this idea. I really like this. This came out really well. This I call my screened feeder, I guess. And these are so simple to make, and these are so effective. I love this thing. Let me show you up close. Close. Oops. What this thing is, these are just made with 1x4s, is all it is. And I've got I'll show you. I got boards, nailed and glued around the outside of the board down the middle for support. But all this is 1/4 inch, like hardwood cloth, basically, or wire. And it comes in 24 foot. It comes 24 inches. I can't remember how long the roll is, but if you go to any Menards, Lowe's, Home Depot, wherever, you could find these things. But this thing works great. So you take this thing and you put it up on top of your deep box, and look at that, it fits just perfect. Or on top of your, you put it on top of your deep, or you put maybe your inner covers underneath this, however you have your hive set up. What's nice about that is the bees can go right through these holes, because what I use this for, like in the spring, I use it for pollen patties. In the fall, like fall going into winter, like right now they're out there, and I use these plastic trays for dry sugar. So this sits up on top of the hive. The plastic tray sits right in there just like that. You fill it with sugar. The bees got all that space around it to come up through and get to the sugar. They just come in really handy. I just love the way this thing turned out, actually. And that 1/4 inch. Those 1/4 inch holes work out perfect for the bees to get through. And you can see I also got an upper entrance on this. So if they want to, the inner cover's got an upper entrance, and so does this one. So there's plenty of room, or plenty of space. If the bees are up here eating on your sugar, or your pollen patties, whatever, they can go in and out this way if they want, or right below here would be the inner cover, upper entrance. But let me just show you how I do this really fast. I've got one put together, except for the wire. Like I said, I don't want to bore people by you just sit here watching me build something. So I like to kind of get like one started, the other one almost done. But this is what it looks like. See, I glue, I nail, and all this is, these are 1x4s, is all they are. And all these are is 1x4, nailed around the outside, and the inside, and then glued. So then you cut your wire, and this is what it looks like. I have one piece that I didn't finish cutting. So they come in 24-foot wide pieces. I forget how long this roll was, but you got to obviously trim this down to make it this size, which is not a big deal. And you can see I've got a whole bunch of them cut. I got the rest of my roll finished, so I got the rest of these cut. I only need to make a couple more for right now, but I just cut them all the size so it's done. And then when this is done, when the inside of this is done, you just set that right inside just like that. It just sets right inside. Staple it down. Take a hammer, tap it down. You might want to take your wire and kind of, straighten it out a little bit so it lays flat. But that's all there is to this. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take this board, I'm going to cut these pieces. You see I already got one cut. I use my what we're going to do, we're going to just glue this here again. This Title Bond premium glue, wood glue is really nice stuff. So I just run a bead of glue. I gotta use the other bottle pretty soon here once this is about done. Just let this stand this up here. And then take your piece, and you can use scrap for this too. It works out really well. I just take a 1x4 and I rip it into 4 sections. Put that in. You want to make sure it's flush on the bottom here, so when it sits on top of your deep or your inner cover, it's flush. So if you got some scrap lumber, if these are off just a little bit, it's not going to matter. But the important part is that the corners is all flat, so it sits flat on top of here. So I just take that. Make sure it's flat where it is. And then I use little number. These are 4D nails, I want to say. These little 4Ds work out really nice because they're small. And they're not too long, so they're not going to pop through. You don't want to put too long of a nail in here, and it's going to pop out the other side. So I just, like this. Flat. I usually put 3 nails in. Now, here again, a little bit of glue. You don't need to use a lot of this either. And if you do have excess glue, if it squirts out the side, just take your finger and rub it flat, that's all. This will go just like that. How in the world did that bend? There must be a hard piece of wood right there. There must be a knot right there that I didn't see. I'm just trying to avoid nailing it in knots because you're not going to do it. That's a hard piece of wood. That's why that bent like that. And now, we're going to cut. You see those 2 are in. There's one here and one here. Now we're going to measure these, which I know these are too long, and that's fine. And if you got to trim it down, see, perfect, like that. Okay. Now, and it's really important too on the inside here that this is flush all the way across the top, so your screen will lay on there good. On the bottom, if it's off just a little bit, that ain't going to matter. Because this is sitting, the outside of this is sitting on top of your inner cover or your deep or your super, whatever you're using it for. But the inside is important that it's flush. So, as much glue as I go through. Okay, so now, I'm going to put that right there. Perfect. Now, alright, one more side here. And you know how I say save all your scrap because it all comes in handy? You know what I use all this stuff for? All these little tiny pieces? I use these in my smoker. I'll throw a bunch of these in my smoker, I'll put some straw or pine cones or whatever, get the whole thing lit, and then this pine burns for a little while. So I actually have a bucket, I keep a pile of this stuff in. So all this, you see, scrap, you could do so much with your scrap. That's why I don't throw anything away. That's why I got this giant pile back here. Make sure this is flush. Perfect. They're just perfect. The length is perfect where they won't pop through. Like I said, once you glue and nail this thing, it ain't going nowhere. This is like the best invention I came up with. I love this thing. We need to put the centerpiece in. So you got to run a center bar, because if not, if you don't put the center bar in there, there'll be too much play in the wall. All right, this one's cut. Now, shade a little bit more. There, see, just like that. Now, what I got to, this process, for me anyway, takes a little bit longer. What I do is I get this in the middle, which is right there. Where's my tape measure? I'm going to take and put a staple. I know you can't see this. Then I'm just going to run a bead of glue. I'm going to run a bead of glue across each seam. Then I'm going to turn it on its side, and I'm going to run glue on the seams there, just so it's got some good strength to it. Okay, so that's why I wanted to finish one. Oh, and then the other thing is you got to drill your upper entrance. And I bought these little plastic caps. I forget what they're called, but these come in really handy. Do I have to do this? No, I could just drill a hole and just go. But these plastic caps work out really nice, and they won't, the wood won't splinter or chip. So this is kind of what they look like. And all this is I want to say, I think a 3/4 inch bit. But this is going to drill right here. You just drill your upper entrance. Like I said, do you have to buy these? No. But that fits in there really nice. And I put a little bit of glue around that, just so it doesn't come out. And this just looks really nice. And that plastic cap just pops right in. And there you go. See? There's your upper entrance. Let that dry. And I'm going to come back and glue this one, but now since I've got this one already done, so I can show you the next step, this one's already been stapled. You see it here, it's already been stapled. It's glued on the, I don't know if you can see it, it's glued on either side. It's pretty strong. I mean, obviously if you really grab it and pull it, you're going to break it. But if you take your piece of wire that you've already cut to size, and you don't have to do this with 1x4s, you can do this with whatever. But this just works out really well. If you do try this, let me know in the comments below. I'd be really curious how you like it. I've seen other guys have them. They're a little bit thinner. So I just use a 1x4 because it's big and it's solid. Plenty of bee space when you lift up your roof in the winter, or if you got your insulated cover on top of this, you got all kinds of room. And I like that. So now, I just get that flat. See, that'll fit right in there perfect, just like that. And then what I do, I take the staple gun, and I just go around, staple it. You can use any size staples, it doesn't matter. I just have the small staple gun that I keep down here. I think these are 1/2 inch staples in here, I believe. Or 1/4 inch maybe. So now, after I've got it all stapled in, see, it's all stapled in. Now what I'll do, I'll just take the hammer and just tap these staples down. Sometimes when you ain't got something really solid to staple into, the staples won't go all the way in. That's all there is to it. Then you got yourself a nice, solid feeder. You've got your upper entrance right there. If they want it, they've got it. This mesh is great. They can just cut you. The bees it's just so easy for them to come through. When you staple, you don't got to glue any of that. It's really not going to go anywhere. I mean, if you want to glue it, you can. I don't. But the main thing is the outside stuff's all glued. So that's about it. The next step for this, with the rest of everything else down here, is to be painted. My little cap here, that's glued in. That ain't coming out. So let me know in the comments below if you build these things, if you buy them, how you like it. I love this thing. I really do. So I got a couple more to finish, and then the rest of them got to be painted, and then I'll be good for right now. And if I need to build more over the summertime, I can really quick, because pretty much this is used for spring. Pollen patties, and then the fall, dry sugar going in the winter. Yeah, it just comes in really handy. It's very, very. I really like the way this came out. I'm really happy with this. Like I said, subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell. Thumbs up are always appreciated. It makes these videos pop up faster in searches. And I think that is it. Thanks for watching. Thanks to all my new subscribers. You guys know who you guys are. And I appreciate it. I will talk to you soon. All right.